Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys back in today's video reacting to your guys' Marvel Legends hot takes yet again. Last weekend I uploaded a video much like this. It was really fun making it and I love engaging with all of you. I wanted to clear something up before I start this video though. The whole Anthony Customs thing, I really have no quarrel with him. Honestly, I haven't watched his content since I was a teenager. Because back then he was like one of the names, he was one of the biggest names. But I always just lean towards Glenn Webb and Shartimus Prime. And that's what I try to replicate in my videos, that goofy, fun-loving attitude. It just brings me a lot of joy to be myself. So I will stand by my statement in my last video where I think over-critiquing, why? It's no fun. I don't want my statement in my last video to be a diss towards Anthony's Customs, what he's doing. It works if his subscriber count is anything to go off of. Anyways, let's get into the hot takes. Marvel Legends collectors are easily the most ridiculous. This was the most liked comment. Followed up by Gray Matter. Love that username and that profile picture. This is my Apple Watch. I have the Omnitrix. I absolutely love Ben 10. Hope we get an action figure line of that. I would totally buy into it. They left a very long comment and I'm just going to leave that on screen right now. If you want to read it, go ahead. Honestly, I'd have to agree, although I do believe the community is taking steps into the right direction in terms of just being less toxic overall. A lot of the vitriol is aimed towards figures that are just clearly there to get an easy buck. The entire Spider-Verse wave, people just piled on top of that with hate. Deservingly so. Sometimes they take it a little too far though. Now to the second point of this entire fan base just being childish and immature, annoying. Yeah, that's every fan base. There's an old adage, nobody hates a certain property more than the fans of that property. That applies to everything. Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, literally everything. For most annoying toy collector community, I would say Star Wars Vintage Collection. Oh my god. I cannot bear those people. I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the vocal minority who just won't shut the F up. Hot take. Marvel Legends have the best head sculpts in the game, especially movie figures. Comparing movie figures between Hasbro and SH Figure Arts is laughable most of the time. And I totally agree. If you guys watch my reviews, I say this in every single video. They have really stepped up their head sculpt game in the last year or so. They all look just absolutely breathtaking, so incredibly lifelike. The really bad ones are very few and far between nowadays. A lot of the time the bodies just aren't up to par, but the head sculpts really help make these figures feel like they're worth it. They're just so great. I completely, wholeheartedly agree. Tim was recording 72. The Juggernaut Wave Deadpool is the best Marvel Legends made to date. Whoa, I thought it said the best Deadpool Marvel Legends figure. And even then I thought that was a super hot take. That is just a nuclear take right there. I think at one point it could have been in contention for one of the best, but nowadays, oh my god, they have released so many bangers since then. Are we just gonna pretend that the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Wave and the SDCC Comic-Con 2-pack Deadpools aren't a thing? It comes with tons of accessories and it poses just fine, but would I say it's the best? Absolutely not. Noah, my good friend, again with another hot take. Another one for me is that I think the Renew Your Vows body is the wrong size for Spider-Man. I think it's a little too big and muscular. I don't want my Spidey to be the same size as Deadpool and Daredevil, which is why I think the Amazing Fantasy is better. And on the same note, Scroober said Renew Your Vows over Amazing Fantasy 15. And there's this other comment by Toes Nate, who I'll also leave on the screen because it's just a lot of text. But to sum it all up, he says the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man is overrated. This is something that has really divided the community, especially Spider-Man collectors. Oh, I actually have them off to the side. I came prepared this time. Which one is better? I love both of these figures because they do such a good job at portraying Spider-Man at two totally different points in time. Which one do I like more? Which one has brought me more joy to pose around, to mess with? I'm gonna go with Renew Your Vows. I've just loved posing this guy ever since I got him. He's just so much fun. I don't know, I just like it so much more. That's not taking anything away from this. I absolutely love the Amazing Fantasy mold. I think it's amazing. I think they both work super well for their respective times. However, I just like Posing Renew Your Vows more. Sorry. Next one is a pretty quick one from Carlos. Honestly, for a $25 price point, Marvel Legends are pretty good. Now, that price is pretty rough for completionists like me and assumably a lot of you watching this video. However, for like the casual fan who's just gonna pick up a figure every now and then, I think that price is actually kind of perfect. Do I wish figures can go back to being 16 bucks like when I was a kid? Of course, absolutely. I agree, they're pretty good. They're not perfect though. Next one from Boobs Reviews. Honestly agree with boot swivel. Same with thigh cuts. Realistically, neither are how real life legs work. What? They look ugly and break the sculpt up and don't look realistic to how real legs work. NECA and McFarlane both have found ways around the thigh cut and boot swivel that work and look so much better. I agree and disagree. I think the boot swivel could definitely be replaced with a ball joint at the top of the foot, you know, like Medicom Mafex. They put that on all their figures, and I could like honestly go with that or boot swivel. I could go either or. The thigh cut though that you're talking about, I would not have used McFarlane as an example because his are atrocious. This is the only McFarlane figure I have off to the side just because I wanted the energy effects. There is a thigh cut underneath the sculpt. It does work, but isn't this just so much easier? Some people just like buying statues, but me, I love buying action figures that I can actually move around easily. All the McFarlane fans have left and they think I'm hating. Guys, it's just a joke. I love messing around with McFarlane fans. Okay, back to the second point. Another is that BAFs need to go for good. With more and more retro waves, deluxe-sized standalone figs, and now open pre-orders, that eliminates the need for a Build-A-Figure as a whole. People can buy what they want and not feel the need to complete a wave just for a Build-A-Figure. Again, this is one that I like am half and half on. I like Build-A-Figures because it gives us the opportunity to get characters that we usually wouldn't get as a standalone. I'm like almost certain that Zabu wouldn't have been a standalone figure, standalone deluxe. Like, if I had to guess, he would probably become a like 2-pack with Kazar, Hascon, or a SDCC exclusive. And while I'm like talking about like Build-A-Figures from this year, Blackheart and The Void, I honestly can't see them ever being released as a standalone figure. And of course, I love building the Build-A-Figures. It just brings me back to a time when I was just young, begging my mom to help me collect all the figures so I can build these guys. So for me personally, I do enjoy them. However, I wouldn't be too hurt if they went away. Alicia says, my hot take as an Iron Man fan who collects mostly Iron Man from Marvel Legends is seeing fans of the line complain about too much Iron Man when he very rarely gets the same suit made, so there's always a new style or color suit available on shelves. He's one of the very few characters you can stand together with every other version and have it make sense as an Iron Legion, Hall of Armor, and he's most of the time the best seller of waves. I hear the same thing for Spider-Man and Wolverine, but being the collector I am, I had to represent Iron Man. I agree with this take probably the most of any of the ones I have read so far. There's a video on my channel that my top 10 favorite Iron Man figures, and it's different from my Wolverine video in that I actually own all of them. Iron Man's one of the GOATs. I absolutely love him, and yes, it makes absolute sense to own all of those figures. The best seller of waves though, sometimes. And finally, Lil Reap 1757. The new format for buying Dragon Man and Sentinel is much better than HasLab. No unnecessary stretch goals that are factored into the price, even if the backers aren't met for that tier. They only charge your wallet when they ship and are priced much better with much more of an opportunity and notice in advance so people can decide whether or not they can buy them. I think that first HasLab, the Sentinel, was something magical. It was so much fun being a part of that, being a part of the community and just getting there and reaching that line. The same couldn't be said about Galactus. The Galactus had me scared, it had everyone scared because like it was down to like the last week and we still hadn't gotten that thing back. It was pretty scary, but then you had the Engine of Vengeance and ooh, that was rough. That was a really bad time to be a Marvel Legends collector. And then last year with Giant Man, who just came in the mail actually. Look at this thing. I think the made to order is definitely the way to go for the future, because if you want the figure, you're going to get it and all the accessories it comes with. Something that really stung for me and a lot of other Giant Man backers was the fact that we missed out on the scroll head. Honestly, the only stretch goal that I was actually kind of looking forward to, like I'm salty about that. I'm still salty about it. Like it sucks. Am I going to miss the HasLab format? Not really. Yeah, I gotta agree. I gotta agree with that take. But yeah, that'll do for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment your hot takes down below. I know I didn't get to everyone in this video. I'll try to include more in the next one. This video is already gonna be super long to edit, so yeah. I'm just trying to keep it a little more condensed. While you're at it, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. Anything you can do to support the channel will be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Here we go. This is close to the Juggernaut wave, the best Marvel Legends, according to that one dude. Bye. So, yeah. I don't want any beef with Anthony. Alicia says, my hot take is as an... Why can't I say this?